Sometimes it feels like everything around you is changing, and you're not sure if it's for the better. You notice small shifts inside yourself, subtle intuitions that seem to appear from nowhere. Your mind questions the path you're on, but the soul speaks quietly. It leaves signs that are rarely obvious, yet impossible to ignore. You might wonder if you're really moving forward or just drifting. The soul doesn't follow maps or schedules. It works through whispers and gentle hints. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Jung. Can you feel that small internal shift starting to grow? One of the first signs of real growth is when you start choosing peace over being right. Not to look smarter, not to gain approval, not out of strategy, but because something inside quietly changes. You might stay silent in conversations where you once argued. This isn't weakness. It's your soul learning to protect its energy. You notice the pull to conflict, but decide to step back instead. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You embody your truth quietly, and that alone changes everything. Even if nobody notices, the calm strength you feel is real. Have you ever experienced the quiet power of simply letting go? This change shifts how you listen, how you move, and how you interact with others. On the outside, nothing may seem different, but inwardly, everything has transformed. You start seeing wounds instead of threats in people. When someone leaves, you don't chase them. You honor the space they leave behind, and you respect your own rhythm. A new presence emerges inside, one that doesn't demand attention or explanation. You inhabit the moment fully, observing, breathing, and letting life unfold. This serenity can't be learned from books or courses. It comes from facing your own shadow and realizing that true strength is quiet, steady, and calm. Time no longer pushes you. You stop racing to the next milestone or measuring life by tasks completed. Instead, you savor what is happening now. Your inner rhythm slows, and you start noticing the spaces between moments, realizing they hold the most important lessons. Have you ever felt stillness that actually felt like progress? You begin to focus on what nourishes you instead of chasing fleeting rewards. Patience replaces urgency. You trust invisible rhythms even when your mind can't understand them. Every pause and empty moment becomes an opportunity to align with yourself. The world may not notice, but you feel the shift deeply within. Life becomes less about results and more about cycles. You stop treating everything like an emergency. You discover that the process itself is transforming you. Even without recognition or trophies, you inhabit your life fully. Gradually, you learn to walk beside time instead of constantly chasing it, and that makes all the difference. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Carl Jung. Every choice to honor your inner timing, every moment you resist external pressure, is a sign you're aligned. You stop trying to prove yourself and start feeling your truth. Can you recall a moment when simply being present felt stronger than doing everything at once? You start noticing how you relate to time differently. It's not about doing more or scheduling better. It's deeper. You stop rushing, stop measuring life by tasks, and begin to appreciate the passing moments. Time is no longer an enemy pushing you forward. It becomes a partner guiding your pace. Before, you felt like life was always ahead of you, like you were chasing something you could never catch. Now there's a new rhythm. You allow yourself to arrive when the moment calls, to savor what's happening without calculating every step. Have you felt that freedom of finally being present? You stop trying to do 10 things at once and start focusing on what truly matters. You plant seeds that nourish deeply, not ones that shine quickly. Your way of waiting changes. Patience replaces the old impatience. You trust the invisible cycles even if your mind cannot understand them. Life cycles become clear. You accept pauses, the in-between moments, and realize that the real growth happens there. You no longer measure worth by immediate results. You start to see emptiness not as void, but as a place where your presence itself creates meaning. Even when the world doesn't notice, you feel the shift. You no longer chase fleeting validation or approval. You respond to life instead of reacting. Every small choice to honor your energy, every moment you stay aligned with yourself, begins to change everything quietly but profoundly. This awareness extends to your energy and what you allow into your space. You start caring for the invisible, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions, even when no one is watching. Silence and restraint are no longer limitations. They become ways to honor yourself and your soul. You stop speaking negatively about people who aren't present, not because of rules, fear, or karma, but because every word you release affects your own energy. You realize some things leave a mark on your inner world, and you no longer want to carry what doesn't belong to you. This invisible ethic guides you more than any external authority. You start checking yourself before acting outwardly, noticing your energy and aligning your intentions. Spirituality isn't about how loudly you proclaim it or how often you meditate. It's in how you act when no one is watching. You notice the subtle power of caring for what can't be seen. Thoughts, energy, small gestures, all of them leave an impact. You begin to pause before reacting, reflect before speaking. You no longer betray yourself to maintain appearances or follow empty habits out of routine. Caring for your energy is not selfish. It's loyalty to your soul. As you honor that loyalty, everything begins to respond. People or situations that drained you disappear. Your body signals when something isn't right. Clarity appears, and you start moving away from anything that disrupts your peace or alignment. When you're truly on the right path, emotions you once avoided start rising. This isn't a setback, it's a sign your soul is ready to face what it couldn't before. Tears, anger, or memories may appear unexpectedly. The difference now is you don't run. You stay, breathe, and move through them. This is not about drama or drowning in pain. It's about opening doors inside you that were previously closed. Feeling deeply, even when it hurts, is the soul's honest way of cleansing itself. No book, no course, no affirmation can teach this. It comes from courageously facing yourself without avoiding it. Every time old griefs resurface or your body trembles with remembered pain, it's not a mistake. It's the real cleansing process through feeling, not thinking. In the middle of this apparent fragility, a new strength begins to emerge. One that doesn't shout, one that stays steady even in the storm. You realize you are on the right path because you no longer run from yourself. Every escape attempt leaves you empty. Every distraction drains you. You surrender, not giving up, but stopping the fight against your own truth. In that surrender, a sacred space opens inside you. For the first time, you experience intimacy with yourself. You are no longer just a thinking mind. You are a soul that allows itself to feel without shame or fear. Tears are honored, anger becomes a teacher, sadness is held without fixing it. Slowly, everything inside begins to transform. You don't need to understand every feeling or name every emotion. You only need to be present, accompanying yourself as you once wished someone else would. Emotional honesty becomes your greatest strength. Fear of feeling disappears, and you can sit with your shadow without needing to run. Freedom grows. You are free from dependence on others' approval, free from automatic reactions, free from repeating old patterns through others. This transformation happens when you stop avoiding yourself and choose to feel. You stay with yourself, and this is a clear sign of alignment. You realize you weren't weak for avoiding your feelings. You were human. Facing everything doesn't make you stronger. It makes you authentic. Allowing yourself to feel is not drowning in pain. It's moving through it without losing yourself, holding yourself from within while the world outside feels chaotic. Emotions rise, move through you, teach you, and leave without sticking around. You begin to listen differently. Your body signals when something is off. You no longer ignore anxiety or numbness. You stop covering internal discomfort with excuses. Emotional honesty becomes your home a safe place, even if not always comfortable. Living fully doesn't mean always being happy. It means living with all your parts open to the present sadness, anger, nostalgia, love. You stop labeling emotions as good or bad. You recognize them as heard or postponed, and you choose not to postpone anymore. In that moment, a new kind of peace begins to appear. From this new peace, you begin to notice choices you once took for granted now feel impossible. Not because of rules or fear, but because your soul won't allow betrayal of itself. You start honoring your truth, and even small decisions now carry weight. Life starts feeling richer, deeper, more aligned. You notice old habits or relationships that once fit now feel suffocating. You can't ignore it anymore, and you don't want to. You step away from what dims your light, not out of pride, but out of respect for your journey, your healed wounds, and the version of yourself that finally knows what it deserves. Your inner loyalty becomes unshakable. You can't go back to patterns that don't resonate. It's not about being stronger than before, it's about being faithful to yourself. You may stumble or feel fear, but you keep walking because each step is a promise to your soul. Even when others don't understand your choices, you no longer seek their approval. You follow your internal compass, the quiet voice that says, "This is for me," and that voice never lies. Every aligned choice, no matter how small, strengthens your connection with your own life and purpose. You begin to notice the beauty in everyday moments, the sunlight through leaves, a smile from a stranger, a quiet breath after chaos. Life feels lighter even when challenges remain. You start feeling gratitude not only for the good, but for your ability to feel deeply, to grow, to be fully present. Joy is no longer something you chase. It emerges naturally as you inhabit your life with awareness. You recognize that every step you take, every pause you allow, every choice to stay true, is a celebration of your journey. Happiness begins as a quiet, steady presence inside, not something you must earn. You realize your life is a rhythm, a dance with time, emotions, and energy. You are no longer rushing, no longer forcing outcomes. Instead, you move with curiosity, with wonder, and with confidence that every experience contributes to your growth and your story. Even moments of uncertainty become part of the adventure. You no longer fear what you can't see or predict. Instead, you trust that life is unfolding perfectly. even in ways that surprise or challenge you. Each day becomes an opportunity to practice presence, love, and self-respect. And as you walk this path, you feel a quiet joy that doesn't need recognition. You feel alive, vibrant, and connected. You see your own light reflected in simple moments, in the people you meet, and in the choices you make. Life itself begins to feel like a gift you unwrap every morning. So keep walking, keep noticing, and keep honoring yourself. Every choice, every breath, every moment of awareness is proof that your soul is evolving. You are exactly where you need to be, and the path ahead is bright, full of possibilities, and entirely yours. This is the life you are meant to live.